in touch with anybody from college.
Yes, can you give me the number?
Hello everyone, this is Chris from Mounjaro, and if you're new here, this is my journey into weight loss through the use of Mounjaro. Something that I've tried to do for a long time without Mounjaro and it just never worked. But 4 weeks in now, and I want to use this series of videos to document my progress, how I'm getting on. Maybe am I feeling any symptoms? Is it even working? And I want to use this opportunity to be able to say thank you for tuning in. If you're not used to my videos, my voice isn't normally this kind of deep or whatnot. I'm currently not particularly well. I have bad chest, bad throat, and yeah, I've had this for about a week now. Starting to get a little bit annoying. But if you are here, thank you so much for tuning in. What I'm going to be covering today is obviously how I've done, because Sunday's on my weigh day. And I'm also going to be talking about something that I think I need to go into because I've been mentioning it a number of times, which is psoriatic arthritis, because it's something that affects me. It affects a lot of the elements of this new regime that I'm on. And I want to be able to go into detail about that so that you have a clear understanding. But before we even begin, let me just say thank you. If you want to like and subscribe, by all means do so. This is a journey that's going to take a long while, so I don't expect the videos to dry up anytime soon. I am in the process of potentially having to lose, in total, from when I started, 17 stone. Whatever that may be in pounds. What's 10 stone? 140. Yeah, you did the math. I can't do the math. So this is going to be a very long journey, but as I said at the beginning, I'm 4 weeks in now. And so first of all, we talk about how I've been getting on since my last update. The good news is that the cat is much better than he was. Stanley, he's doing great. So thank you ever so much for your kind words and well wishes and so on. Me, myself, I've been fine. I've not had any kind of symptoms. I know this is something that people want to find out about because if you're considering Mounjaro yourself, then you want to know if there's any symptoms. Well, the thing is, whether I get symptoms or not might be different to you. So I've had no symptoms, doesn't mean that you wouldn't. At the moment, I would say the only symptom I've had, if I was to call it a symptom, is slight sense of constipation. But then is that constipation or is it because I'm not eating as much? So it could be a bit of 50-50. But other than that, if that's all I have to worry about at the moment, then that's not too bad. Food-wise, I've been absolutely fine. No concerns whatsoever. I think I've got used to the routine of being able to not feel particularly hungry, eat because that's what I should be doing. Maybe for my evening meal, yes, I'm starting to then maybe feel a little bit of the hunger then, but it's certainly not a level that I would have been before I even started all of this. So that is in itself a real achievement to be able to not feel permanently hungry all the time, which I think is a lot of the reason why diets in the past have not worked, whether they were Weight Watchers or any other kind of fad diets that I've tried before. This seems to be working on that, which is fantastic. So I think what I want to do is I want to go straight away to the segment of my weigh-in, how I've been doing. So let's go over to that and let's find out, shall we? See you in a second. Well, it's that time, folks, and I'm being joined by two little pigs over here because they're excited to find out how I've done. Not sure how this is going to go. Been quite ill this week. Let's find out, shall we? Let's go in. Let's see what I've done.
2 hours later.
So that's that. We'll discuss more later on. And that is now a full month I've been on it. So that was my 4th weigh-in after my initial one. Let's talk about that in a minute. So another week, another win, -5 pounds. So if you want to convert that into something else, let's say 2.5 bags of sugar. If you want to carry it around, that's what I've lost in a week. I did feel with my clothing that there was a loss. So having said that, I felt that in week 2, and that is the week that I didn't lose anything. So definitely things are happening. If we want to think about that in its entirety, I have lost in, if you want to say a month, it's 4 weeks, a month. I have lost 24.5 pounds. Which for those of you who want to look at it a different way, it's 1 stone and 10.5 pounds. So we're heading towards 2 stone in a month. I fully understand it's not going to be like that all the time. I understand that that was the amount I've lost in the first month purely because of the excessive amount of overweight that I am. If I was to lose 2 stone every month, that would be fantastic. And I know immediately people would be saying, no, that's too fast, that's too fast. But as somebody who's not particularly patient at the best of times, that would be lovely. But I know it's not going to be the case. I'm not going to have a particular amount in mind, because I think once we start having targets for ourselves, that's when morale can be broken. Because if we don't hit that target, well, then obviously, it's not working. Well, it's not working is what we're thinking. So I'm not thinking about what I'm going to lose for the following month. But for the first month, if you yourself are extremely overweight, like myself, and you wonder if it's even going to work for you, well, it seems to be working for me. Heading towards 2 stone in 4 weeks. I don't know if I would have been able to do that without the Mounjaro. I don't know, maybe. But here I am. If I think back to how I was feeling when I was doing videos 4 weeks ago, if you'd have said to me in 4 weeks' time, you're going to lose nearly 2 stone, or heading towards 2 stone, would you be happy with that? I would take it all day long. All day long. I'd say thank you very much, and long may it continue. So very pleased. I may not come across like I'm very pleased, but I am. You just have to bear with me. So then that leads me on to my next topic, because I think it's good for you guys to know a bit more than about myself, because if I'm literally just talking about whether I've got symptoms or not and then how much I weigh, then this is going to be very limited. So you want to find out a bit about me. So I want to give you a little bit of a background on my psoriatic, I keep saying it wrong myself, psoriatic arthritis diagnosis. Okay, so about a year and a half ago, I started to get extreme discomfort and pain in my shoulders. It was primarily when I was laying down to sleep. It was something that started in the one shoulder, but then quickly developed into the other. And as I probably mentioned in the last video, I'm a side sleeper, so therefore that makes that very tricky. And I can imagine, what I was thinking in my head was maybe it's just where I'm side sleeping, it's my weight pushing down on the joint. And that could well be a big factor in it. And again, one of the reasons I want to lose the weight. The can of diagnosis was kicked down the road quite a long while. There was mumblings of that this was going to be fibromyalgia. Maybe I was diabetic, which it turned out I'm not. What else was it going to be? It was other things as well. And we're talking over a series of months. I've been on a combination of naproxen, which is an anti-inflammatory painkiller, and then omeprazole, which is to help your stomach with acid reflux, because that's what can happen with taking naproxen. And eventually it got to the summer of this year that just passed, and I got an appointment to see a specialist who wanted to see what was going on. And she suspected that it could be psoriatic arthritis. or a form of arthritis at least. And so she ordered for a number of tests, bloods, all sorts of things. I had to go for a second blood test because they didn't do it on the first one. So I had to have a second one. And I had to go to one of those wonderful drive-through blood test places, which was marvelous. And then she wanted me to have a full body scan. And my full body scan was held at Addenbrooke's Hospital, which is in Cambridge. And it was in the radiology department, where I was surrounded by lots of people who were clearly there for some variation of cancer, which, you know, it broke my heart as well to see these people, especially when you see young couples and such. And then I start thinking about myself, and I won't go into the ins and outs of basically what happened on that day. It wasn't a pleasant day. I had to have a radioactive injection. I'm sure there's an official term for it. I had to hang around for a few hours, then had to have a full body scan in different stress positions, as I would call it. So I have horrendous issues with my shoulders still. Sorry. And for half an hour during this whole body scan, I had to lay there with my arms up like this. I mean, I was laying down, but still. And it got to the point where when it was coming to the end of the scan, I was feeling like they were locking, so that I was worried I wasn't going to get my arms down. It has come back that I have psoriatic arthritis in various places. They're not so sure about my shoulders, but my shoulders are what are killing me at the moment. You will remember in the video my last video, sorry, I mentioned that I was attending a funeral for my friend's dad who'd passed away. And it was requested that I help carry the coffin. Well, it's what I did. It was my duty. And because you won't know, that was my previous occupation. So I was in the funeral industry, still am in some respects. And I was in it for a large number of years. And so easy peasy. Well, it wasn't so easy peasy. My shoulder was pure agony from the second I started. Something that I never used to have when I was doing it. And it was a lengthy carry with the coffin. And by the time I was finished, my shoulder is basically on fire, and it's still horrendous at the moment. Last night I slept atrocious because of my shoulders. But I want to sort of delve more into psoriatic arthritis. So I know there's different types of arthritis. So this one is psoriatic arthritis. So this is arthritis that is linked to psoriasis. So psoriasis is an autoimmune disease condition. So anything that's autoimmune means it's your immune system that is attacking the body. I already knew that I had psoriasis. So from a young age, I had what you get are like silvery, flaky patches of skin. Is basically where a normal person's skin, the cells develop underneath and they form into skin cells. And the process of your old skin cells breaking off and being replaced by new skin cells should take anything up to about 30 days. Well, when you've got psoriasis, because the immune system is attacking these particular cells, and it's releasing different hormones and such, and it's forcing the skin cell production, whatever they may be. I'm not a doctor. I'm not into the terminology as such. It forces them into overdrive. So essentially, what should take a 30-day process, around a 30-day process, takes 3 to 4 days. So you end up with this large build-up of skin that just keeps growing up amongst each other till you get these large areas that are affected. And when I was saying I had it as a young age, I had it on my scalp, and I still do. I had to have a special kind of shampoo, which does help with that. It was the itching, and also it's confused often with uncleanliness because you get dandruff from it. It's nothing to do with that whatsoever. It's nothing to do with hygiene, but that doesn't stop people wondering, and it also doesn't stop you feeling self-conscious and dirty, even if you're not. So some other reasons why I feel self-conscious about myself. So that was lovely growing up with that and still having it. It's very much located just to there for the longest of time, years and years. But then I have, over the course of the last year and a half, when this pain started, I have had additional places show up for it. Now, this is where it's going to be a little bit tricky to show you. And it's all going to be very much depending on the light. And you all have to apologize if there's bits and pieces about. I do live with my partner. That's not going to show up. There we go. So there's a little patch just on my knuckle there. It doesn't look like much, but that's how it starts. Trying to get that to focus. Okay. But it's this one on my leg which has really started. And I'm just going to have to bring that to you. There we go. So it's like a round silvery thing that's incredibly itchy. As you can probably see, hopefully you can see. I can't see the screen. It's just built up skin, but because it gets it gets itchy. What do you naturally do when it's itchy? You scratch it, and you're not supposed to, but you try telling that to someone who's got a very bad itchy area. So it bleeds, and then you can run the risk of it getting infected and going horrible. And there's not a lot you can do about it. So I did some research into it because I didn't know there was a link between that psoriasis and any form of arthritis, and there is a link. So psoriasis can then transform into psoriatic arthritis, so arthritis to do with psoriasis. And so what's happening is that I've got the symptoms of arthritis that's been caused by my immune system attacking. I can only assume attacking the joints, attacking the tendons. So I have it in my heels, I have my feet, I have it in my fingers. It's not going to show up on camera, no doubt, but I've got lumps and bumps all over my knuckles. I've got general degeneration in my knees as well. It's arthritis is hereditary anyway. My mum is, bless her heart, is absolutely riddled and has been for a large number of years, and I think she's amazing with the way that she continues despite being in the pain that she has and has done all these years. I think riddled is probably the horrible way of putting it, but she suffers quite badly with it. And so I always knew there was an element that I probably was going to get arthritis anyway, but that's more osteo. It's not I think you get rheumatoid arthritis as well, which is significantly worse. But I've seen videos of how psoriatic arthritis can end up looking, and it is not good. So I kind of have to be mindful of that. And I think that was one of the main reasons I wanted to really push getting this weight loss, because if this is something that's not going to go away, then I want to at least make it manageable. So that wasn't the greatest of news. I mean, obviously, I take myself back to that day when I was waiting in the hospital waiting rooms in the company of lovely people, but all of whom who were suffering from cancer. And I consider myself very lucky. Other people have sort of said to me, yeah, but it's still bad. And I go, yeah, but it could be worse. But the pain I think is the most draining part of it. And whilst I can somewhat empathise with how my mum must feel, I mean, I can only imagine what that must feel like. But it's difficult. And I think what I found quite difficult as well was attempting to do something I used to do all the time in my old job, and then finding it virtually impossible because of the pain. And then I felt like a little bit of a letdown for my friend. I still did it, but I still thought, well, I shouldn't have been struggling with it for him as much as I was. But there we go. Things happen, eh? What can I do about this? Well, if I lose weight, I have spoken to the specialist. I've told her that I am on Mounjaro. She wants to me to continue with Mounjaro to see how much weight I can lose, so that in a few months' time we can have another appointment. And then when we have that appointment, we've got some decisions to make. So the decisions I've got are carry on as I am, taking anti-inflammatories, which I'm sure are doing wonders to my body, my liver, and so on. Or I go on another type of medication, which is an immunosuppressant, which in other words means it reduces my immune system, because it's my immune system which is attacking me. But then I said, okay, well, what's the deal with that then? What does that mean? Well, it means that your body won't be attacking itself. It obviously will be a lot harder attacking things it should be attacking, like illnesses. So they said if I was to get a cold, the likelihood is I would get an infection, like a chest infection. If I did end up getting diabetes at some time, then it would make the symptoms of that worse. And generally, it would make anything worse than I would have done had I not been on them. So can you see why I am trying to take this as seriously as I can? Because I don't want to end up a cripple. I don't want to end up bedbound. I don't want to end up in a situation where I'm worried about being around people in case I get ill. I'm 41 years old coming up. I am 41. No, sorry, I'm 41 this year. Apparently dementia is another thing, but according to the just now, I'm 41 this year. I don't really want to be having to think about all this just yet anyway. So that's why I'm taking this as seriously as I am. Should have done a lot sooner, but ifs and buts and all that. I just get a little bit worried because I've got children. I don't want to be a burden to them. I don't want to be in a position where I watch and can't play with them. I get very tired. I get tired with the pain, and I get tired with the not sleeping well, and I get tired with being overweight, and I get tired of worrying and these choices that I've got, made these wonderful choices that I've got to choose between either ballsing up my liver and stuff like that versus catching everything under the sun and not having the immune system to deal with it as it should do. That's why I'm at a crossroads, or was at a crossroads. And as much as I didn't want to lose weight in ways because I was using food to comfort, as much as I didn't want to have to try and muster up the energy to try this all over again when it hasn't worked however many times before, I've got no choice. And I'm bloody glad that I'm doing this, and I'm really going full steam with it, because what's the alternative? The alternative, which is not good for anyone concerned, whether it's me or my family. So whilst this episode may not have been the most uplifting, may not been the most entertaining, it's given you a little bit more of an insight about me and about where I am and the things I have to consider. At least some of it anyway. Not everything. Maybe we'll leave those for another time. But if you have made it this far, I just want to say thank you. It's a struggle. It's been difficult. It's been a difficult 5-6 years for reasons, again, that I will probably go into another episode. But thank you, because I can't do this alone. I try to do everything by myself, and I can't do everything alone. And the support I've been shown so far, others might, I think I had somebody say, I'm surprised you haven't got subscribers or more subscribers. It doesn't matter to me. What I care about is the positive reinforcement to remind me that, do you know what? This is bloody hard and you're doing very well. And also, not only that, I'm getting lots of encouragement for myself by watching you guys and everything that you're doing, because it's amazing what we can do when we put our mind to it. And I think that there's a lot of people that are showing the true courage of themselves through what they're doing. I see it in your videos. I see it in the way that, you're dealing with difficult situations and setbacks and worries and so on. And everyone's doing really well. That encouragement is going to help me out. So I'm going to end it there. It's been very reflective, but it's probably been good for me as well, a little bit cathartic to be able to go into this. And by all means, if you want to subscribe and continue with me, then that would be great. But keep on. Everyone's doing fantastic. And if you have a setback, you have a setback. I'm not intending to finish this marathon anytime soon, and I suggest you don't either, because we're all helping each other through this. In the meantime, please have a good rest of your weekend. I will give you another update on Wednesday, Thursday, depending on what happens. And I'm here if you want to talk, and I'll be watching. Take care, everyone. See you soon.
Berries of love!
Yeah.